Atlantic Robot League, this is the game of the future, the sport of the future, when you will have ginormous robots fighting against each other, and you will have normal people like you and I. We're not good enough to drive mechas, and so we will be betting on them instead, which is exactly the same as we do now with other kinds of sports. You know, that's if you're good, you do the sport. If not, anyways. So, this is the board of the game, and it represents the arena where these robots will be fighting against each other. You'll be betting, you'll be trying to guess on the outcome of certain things that will happen during the game. And after you predict the thing, then you're gonna try to make it happen, even if it means to cheat a little bit. Within the rules of the game, so is that cheating, really? So, we're gonna have 5 teams of robots, each represented by 3 tiles. So we got yellow team, purple, red, blue, and green. And each robot has the symbol of 2 other teams that robot can destroy. So this robot, if it moves next to a robot from blue or red team, can destroy them. This robot is lethal to red and purple. This robot to purple and green, and so on and so forth. You shuffle these tiles and you set them up randomly at the beginning of the game. Each player receives a betting board such as this one. It's coded, so you can write on it with a dry erase marker, then erase it, but do not erase your score. So you will place your bets, play the round, score round 1, clear your board, place new bets, and play round 2 or round 3 the same way. The player with the highest score at the end of 3 rounds, totaling the score, wins the game. You also have space dollars or credits, which, however, have nothing to do with the points that you score. So that's peculiar. But you're gonna use these dollars here to change your bets and or to buy cards that allow you to break the rules in some way. And we'll talk about that later. Also, there will be 4 coins placed on the robots in the corners of the arena to give you an incentive to get those in the action, because if somebody KOs one of those robots, then they collect the corresponding coin, which again can be used to buy special ideas and special effects. So after everybody has looked at the original arena, everybody's trying to guess which team will have the most survivors at the end of the game, and maybe I guesstimate it will be green. Which team will be the first to fall, and I am gonna say that the purple is the first to fall, and also the brawlers, who scores the most KOs. Now when I play with my 10-year-old, the 10-year-old loves to place these two being the same team, so they're gonna try to make the team survive and punch out other people in the face. I don't necessarily do that, so let's say that I think the blue team is gonna be the brawlers. Then I'm gonna look here at this at the Pentafecta section. After I place my team bets, I place bets on the individual robots that I think will survive. Chances are I'm gonna put a bunch of those from the team that I already marked as the one that I hope will have the most survivors. And then looking at the board, I think, yeah, maybe this robot, maybe Tanka Turtle will survive. And it looks like maybe no, Electrosync doesn't have a chance. I'll go with Bloodsucker. So you're gonna make those guess about the teams, and then you're gonna guess who the 5 survivors will be, because they will start moving around and knocking each other out, and the battle will be over when there are 5 or fewer robots left in the arena. Also, the first player to place their bets will grab the first player's token, which can be interesting. It does have an element of excitement to placing the bets, because going first, well, you can be able to inflict a nice hit against the opponent right away and gain an early advantage. Now, first, so players will alternate taking turns. In a turn, first you have an optional step, which is you may spend a credit to purchase one of those cards that we see there. Those cards represent different kind of effects. Let you read those too, so you get a sense of what they do. Once you buy a card, it is discarded and it is replaced immediately. And again, some of these can be very, very powerful, but that's an optional step. After you decide if you want to take the step or not, the mandatory step is you have to move a rabbit. You have to slide a rabbit into an open space. So at the beginning, you only have 4 rabbits that can enter the only space that is available. Later, there will be more variety of moves that are available. And once a robot moves, it can attack an adjacent robot, an adjacent, usually is orthogonal, adjacent robot with the corresponding color. So I move blue, blue can attack red, and I decide that I'm gonna remove that one. Incidentally, this blue here also could attack purple, so I could choose to have it knock out that one instead. But suppose I decide to do that. And that completes my turn. Then it's someone else's turn. They decided they wanna spend a credit to buy one of those cards, and then they move a rabbit, and again something will happen accordingly. Maybe I decide to move the same rabbit. So right now I'm looking at this and there's so many opportunities I can't quite decide what to do. But that is the idea. Move and slide and destroy rabbits until only 5 are left. Now during your turn, when a rabbit is knocked out, you're gonna put it on the symbol of the team that knocked it out, because remember, you need to figure out at the end of the game which team scored the most chaos. Also, when a team is completely eliminated, you're gonna place this token on their symbol as a reminder that that was the first to fall, because we need to take care of that also. Play, and until again only 5 or fewer rabbits are left, and then you're gonna check. Now for team score, if only for each category we're gonna see how many people guessed them right. If only one player guessed a team right, again for each category, most survivors, first to fall, and most chaos. If only one player guessed correctly, then they score 5 points. If 2 players guess correctly, 2 points each. If 3 more players guess correctly, only 1 point each. And then remember these guys, you're gonna see how many you got that right, how many of those are still surviving at the end. And again, if I got all 5 correct, I score 8 points. If I got 4, I score 5, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to mention that another thing that you can do with your money, before any one team is completely eliminated, you can pay a credit to talk to the fixer, and the fixer allows you to change a bet on your pentafecta. Not the team bets, but the pentafecta again on the individual survivors. So this is the idea. Place your bets. Slide the rabbits around, having them knock each other out. Occasionally spend money to use special effects or to change your bets. Continue until the end of the fight. Score points. Erase everything but not your final score. Repeat 3 times. Player with the highest score wins the game. This game is a lot of fun. I have to tell you, more fun than I expected. I read the rulebook and I was okay, slide around, see what happens. Almost like a variant of the 15 puzzle, that little thing that we used to play when we were kids. But then when you add the players and the human interaction and the cheering and the scheming and the manipulating, the game turned out to be disproportionately entertaining, especially when compared again to how simple the general idea is. Move a rabbit, destroy some rabbits, and from time to time, use your money to do something a little bit devious. I love the fact that you want to place your bets quickly and try to grab that first player token. It is almost a mini game within the game, because maybe you see some really interesting situation on the board. Say there is one of the special cards that lets a robot move and attack multiple enemies, and so you realize, oh my gosh, the card is there. If I move that one and I play that card, that robot destroys 2 of an enemy team, 2 out of 3. So chances are that's gonna be the first to fall. And so as I'm thinking about these things and I commit to that team being the first to fall, my 10-year-old is done, grabs the token, and now one of those first to fall moves and destroys something else, and now I am committed to something that is not quite as cool. So that tension there of getting the first player's token is really fun. And you know, if you find yourself with a bet setup or whatever, the rounds are quick and you got 3 of them. So there are ways, there are more opportunities for you to make up for that. And then it really becomes an interesting puzzle with just enough decisions there to keep you interested, to try to figure out a way of manipulating the board, of creating a nice combo between your actions and those cards and those effects of changing your bets. Usually I found you will want to spend your credits. They are the tiebreaker, but we haven't had that situation. I find that, you know, spending those credits well for a powerful attack effect allows you to win a bet, and that gives you enough points to make up for that. So it's fun that you can again spend your tokens to trigger these effects that really just bring more flavor and fun to the experience. Again, I have to tell you, I was surprised by simply how much fun I was having of moving a rabbit, destroying another rabbit, seeing a family member move another rabbit and eliminate another one, and those stacks changing. And all of a sudden, well, yes, I want that team to be destroyed to fulfill my has-been bet, but I don't want that team to destroy them. I want somebody else to do the job because my brawlers haven't collected enough enemy heads yet. So a lot of little cute interesting things to take into account, which makes for a light game, for a family game, and yet again one with flavor, with interesting decisions, with fun gameplay. I really like the components. They look great. They are cartoonish, and they're just very pleasant and enjoyable. I played the game with 2 players, so just me and my 10-year-old kid. We played with 3 players. We convinced mom to play with us, and we were playing it on Labor Day, so it was day off. We played it a lot that day. Just a game that we found very enjoyable. So as a fun, light, yet engaging family game or casual game to play with your casual friends, definitely I'm going to recommend Atlantic Robot League because it is simple, it is quick, it is easy to teach and to play, and it is a lot of fun.